Radical.
Microsoft, out of nowhere, out of left field, left people hanging. They left people hanging that had movie and TV show collections on their Xbox or also on Windows. Out of nowhere a couple days ago, they just straight shut down the ability to get new TV shows, new movies, and add them to your collection on Xbox. Now the TV and movie app, you can use it to still access what you have downloaded, but you have no ability to download anything else. So they basically shut down the store, the TV and movie store. I am not really seeing an official reason. Maybe since I've seen what I've seen, they've had an update, or maybe they will leave no update and not tell people any reason why. Could be just something that Microsoft does. Remember the Zune, remember the Kinect, remember the Windows Phone. They have a long history of just ending support just out of nowhere for things when they're not working out. And I guess the movies and TV sales on the Xboxes were not working out. I've never bought a movie or TV show through the Xbox. Most people get on their Xbox and they play video games because it's a gaming console. I mean, it was a nice little bonus that you can put in the apps like Netflix or Hulu or something like that, or purchase movies directly if you want to. But the prices were not great, I don't think. Like I said, I've never downloaded movies or TV shows on there, but I don't think from what I've seen, the prices were not that good. So there wasn't really a good value proposition, I guess. But this is still shocking. From a year that has been a shocking year for Microsoft, I would say. And mostly bad news to report versus good news. And also, by the way, I'm not going to do a side upload, but apparently the ROG Ally Xbox is going to be between, I think the cheaper version is $700 and the expensive version is over $1,000. Yeah, good luck beating the Nintendo Switch 2 with those kind of prices. Yeah, it's not an Xbox. It's basically just a ROG Ally. So some people were thinking, Xbox is going to make it like, $400 or $500, and they're going to lose money on it because they want to sell. No, they're not, because ASUS still needs their cut of the money, I suppose. Nice little Xbox logo on basically a ROG Ally is what that was. But yeah, about this news, it doesn't affect me in the least because I didn't have any TV shows or movies on there. But if you're if you're one of the few people, I guess, that had your whole movie collection on an Xbox, you invested in hard drives to put all your movies on an Xbox, you gotta be pissed. You gotta be pissed. I don't know what movies were available on there. Let's say Harry Potter. Could you imagine buying half of the Harry Potter movies, getting into the movies, and then, let's say you're always on the Xbox, and maybe you take a break from gaming and you want to just open up the TV and movie app. Now you can't get all the movies. You're stuck with half the pooters. You can't get the other half. I don't even know if Harry Potter was one of the movies available on the app. I'm not the best person to be talking about it because I never used it. But I will say that it's probably because it wasn't doing so good. And Microsoft does what Microsoft does, and they end support when something's not working. Now, a few people have hypotheticalized. Yeah, I just made a word. Hypothesized, is that it? They have talked about how maybe their plan is to make their own TV show movie streaming service and call it Movie Pass. I don't know. I mean, if they had a Movie Pass and a Music Pass along Game Pass, then you'd have all the passes. You can't pass up all those passes. Or, this is an idea, maybe combine it all into Media Pass and just have some music and movies available there too. I mean, hell, Netflix added some video games. So maybe Microsoft is thinking we could add more value or perceived value there. Or maybe that's just a silly idea that's never going to happen. It's more probably the latter, where they were not doing that well with it, and they just cut support. Now, the good news for people is, if you do have movie, TV show collection on your Xbox, they didn't take away your ability to access that. You can still log into the TV and movie app to watch what you have previously purchased and downloaded. Right now. But for how long? But for how long? You got to be pissed because you know that you're no longer going to be able to download anything else on the Xbox, the movie TV pass. You know that. You know you also potentially have a big collection that is now fucking worthless. What is a collection if you can't add to it? What is a digital collection if you can't add to the digital collection? What happened if one day all of you logged into Steam and they said you can no longer download any new games on Steam? We're ending support for Steam. That would probably never happen, but it could. It's always a future possibility. We'll still allow you to log in and play the games that you have previously purchased if you want to. Still, you would feel like, well, damn, no more Steam summer sales? It would take away a lot of your joy of your collection. But guess who does not have to worry about that? The people that ride with physical media. People like myself, who mostly 90% of my collection is all physical media. Whether it's games, whether it's movies, whether it's music, I am covered. I'm covered. There's nobody, no corporation is going to take away my ability to listen to a hardcore polka music CD. That's, of course, my favorite kind of music. No one's going to take away my ability to enjoy that. But all this digital shit, you don't own it. It's an illusion. It's an illusion that you own it. You just have a license to access all of that on services that you do not own. So these people, hopefully, things like this, if enough light is shined upon it, hopefully it could be a wake-up call. Ring, 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 wake the fuck up. It could be a wake-up call to people that these companies do not care. If something is not working out, they will take away something from you very quickly. Oh, and I don't think you'll always be able to access the TV movie app. I think there might come a day where Microsoft is in support to access what you previously have purchased. Hopefully not. But since it is not video games, it's nothing video game related, think about it. If they're not doing anything on the Xbox with movies and, they're not doing anything with TV shows anymore, video games though, yeah, you can still access maybe your old downloads of 360 games because guess what? It's video games. Then maybe they want to move away from that and they don't care. It doesn't matter. And you can't do shit against Microsoft because when you signed up for it, you gave away any legal ability you have to sue them for taking away what you downloaded. That's what's so insidious about this new digital age. You own nothing. You own nothing digitally if it's on a platform that you can't control yourself. But let's say you don't like physical media, huh? Say you don't like having, let's say, music collection. Let's say you don't have the space for a music CD collection. Well, that's easy. You know what you can do? You can use an app, Windows Media Player, and you can burn every single music CD into your hard drive. And then if you choose, you can get blank CDRs, and you could just burn whatever kind of mix you want. That's just one example. It gets a little more complicated with video games, of course, but that's one example of how you can use digital to your advantage. You can take physical, turn it into digital on your hard drive, And you can have the best of both worlds. The best of both worlds. That's why I love music and how easy it is to take a music CD and rip it wherever you want to. And then after you rip that music CD, you can lend your CDs to a friend, you can sell them, or, preferably you can keep them without any worry whatsoever that they might one day get some disc rot or something like that many people that tout digital will talk about. That discs don't last forever. If they're well kept, and if you don't have them in direct sunlight and out where they're getting moisture and they're not in a dirty leaky basement, just as an example. If they're not in a dirty ass leaky basement, then possibly maybe you take care of this, and these discs might last a lifetime or longer than you last. So yes, in the ongoing argument between physical and digital, this is yet another instance to where physical wins. Physical wins again. Physical is king, baby. There is no denying it. Physical will always be the best. Always. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear from digital people arguing that physical just needs to go away. It's so old school. It's old hat. We got to move on to digital. Everything should be digital. No, pump the brakes on that shit. The only way we should all move over to digital is if you have all the exact same rights and you have all the 100% ownership of the digital media that you are downloading. Because you sure as hell do when you buy a Blu-ray, when you buy a music CD, and yes, when you buy an Xbox game. Well, when you don't have to download some of the media, when you bought 360 games, you did. But yeah, you can't tell me that no ownership is better than full ownership. If you do, then you are a fool, okay? Full ownership is always better if you're spending your own money for it. If it's, a streaming network like Netflix, or if it's Game Pass and you don't have to spend that much money for a lot of access to content, all right, you can make an argument value-wise. But for individual purchases, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80. I can't understand how dumbasses are actually spending $80 for files that you will never own and you can't do jack shit with. What happens if the day comes and you can no longer access those files, huh? Just like the Crew 1. Spent $60 for that game. They decide to cut support. Yeah, that's why we're in this whole argument right now stop killing games. That's why there's that whole resolution going right now. And I'm happy that people are starting to hopefully wake up to this, possibly before it's too late. And there's still a glimmer of hope that physical can still survive in this sadly all digital future we seem to be heading to.